Hello, this is day 4 of Startup Pivot, and one of the things I'm realizing this time as I'm moving out of to a new idea, new zone, is that the more technical I go, the less competition there is. So when I was in trying to find some ideas in the sales tech and trying to make something for that complete end user which is immediately usable, then anything that I thought of had like thousands of people implementing it or already out in the market, not just researching it but actually out in the market having customers. And I saw that it's so hard to find any gaps in a actually it's a technical product but a lesser technical side of the startup. But now I'm starting to research more deeply into like extreme cutting edge of AI, where things are less well defined, tutorials are not so easily available, the concepts that I have to study are actually very hard and technical and mathematical, the code implementations, example implementations on GitHub are not well documented. So the more I'm going on this deeper technical side or the cutting edge side, I find it's much harder to work on these problems. But at the same time, I'm also seeing that there's so few people are working on these problems. It's like if the competition was in like hundreds of thousands before, on when we are building products using the APIs. Now the competition is in hundreds, maybe, or even tens. Like only one or two people, or 10 people, 10 teams are working on what you are working on. So yeah, definitely cool. But of course, it's not possible for everyone to go as deep as possible. I mean, like not everyone can work at the same level as OpenAI guys or Meta guys, and so this is something that I am now coming to a theory about. So for every startup team, so this is my theory actually. For every startup team, there is of course some technical talent you begin with, because startup is, in my opinion, a game that is played in the technology arena. Like it's a tech product that gets massive amounts of VC funding. So yeah, definitely it will be a tech product. So you will probably have a technical team to begin with, maybe a co-founder or you yourself. And then what I want to define is like define your own highest technology level. What is my own technology level? That what is the highest I can go in the technology side? And by highest, I do not mean like laborious kind of how much I can work hard, but I think what defines technicality is the complexity, how difficult some things are to understand. And that complexity is, I think, very similar to the complexity of mathematics. So people who are good at maths at school, they eventually choose to become technicians and go into the field of software engineering and other kinds of engineering. And of course, some like software engineering is not that mathematical, but now it's becoming much more mathematical with AI. But any kind of other engineering is definitely has always been very mathematical. So yeah, mathematical aptitude, mathematical uh, talent is, I think, a fundamental skill or the fundamental building block of a technical ability. So yeah, the more like if you see in school, if you studied, there were some topics of mathematics that were harder and there were some topics that were easier. There are some problems that are harder, some books or which were harder to understand on the same topic. So in mathematics there are always levels of how difficult you can make things, and these levels. And so if you see the solution of any hard mathematical problems, it's not like 100 pages of solutions, still like a very simple concise solution. So the hardness of mathematics doesn't come from some kind of laborious process, but it comes from understanding and intuition. So yeah, so once I've defined what is hard, what I mean by the highest technical ability, I want to choose, and I think everybody should choose ideas, or at least fix that this is where you want to play in a startup. So choose ideas at your highest technical ability level. So whatever is the highest, most difficult things you can understand, and of course it's interesting and it's lucrative. So that is other variables of a startup, that whatever you are doing should be interesting to you, and then it should have a wide applicability eventually for others. So yeah, so like putting that on the side, interesting and lucrative. As a third factor, choose always something that is at your highest technical ability, because as you go up the technical ramp, so for example, there's you can create a ramp from low tech to high tech to higher tech to further higher tech, and maybe there's like extreme high tech, which is like too hard for us to understand, like complex 3D, multi-dimensional topologics, whatever, mathematics. Maybe we can never go there, but whatever is our highest level, we should choose our idea at that level, because as we go up this ramp from low level to high level, I think that competition is coming down exponentially. So yeah, of course, this is for people who are playing in the technical startup space, not for, of course, fashion. If someone is doing something in fashion brands or creating their own clothing line, but for technical, I think if the higher you go up your technology ladder, the complexity ladder, the less competition there is. And I think it's an easy shift to make, because once you are at a high level in mathematics, solving problems doesn't take too long. It's still like a matter of seconds and matter of okay, maybe I'll explain this more in other videos. It's already too long. Take care.